Before we get into today's video, I did want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody's enjoying their summer, maybe taking some nice trips or doing some things at home, barbecues, camping, good stuff like that. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Brian's notebook that was just released. So if you guys were with me here just this past Friday, then you know that Gabby Petito's parents are suing Brian Laundrie's parents, or attempting to sue Brian Laundrie's parents. And they just had their pretrial hearing last week. And now the judge is out, and the judge said in 2 weeks he will have an answer whether this case will go forward to trial or not. I am hoping that it goes forward to trial. Now, a lot of people are thinking like, okay, Brian Laundrie's parents, they didn't do anything wrong. They have the right to keep their mouths shut. They have a right to get a lawyer. But if you guys watch Friday's video, then you will understand why I now believe that they did do things wrong and that there absolutely should, at the very least, be a trial. Like at the very least. I mean, we put people through trials all the time, okay? Let these people go to trial. By the way, I think this is the point that I should let you guys know that everything in this video is going to be my opinion that is given on very public information, and my opinion is unprofessional. Please go do your own research, form your own opinions. Just don't show hate to anybody anywhere. The Laundries released Brian Laundrie's notebook. Now, we all remember whenever his remains were found out at that park, there was a wet bag, and in the wet bag was a notebook, and we were all wanting to know, what did he say in that notebook? FBI came out and said that there was a full confession in it, no need to go any further and look into anything. The whole thing was strange, you guys. You remember? The whole thing was strange. But they released a notebook, which seems so odd, because I literally remember going, why did they release a notebook now? This is weird. Why is this out? Well, I believe it's because they wanted the public to see what Brian said in the notebook so we could get off of their case. But truthfully and honestly, in my opinion, it only made things worse. We're going to go over exactly what he wrote in this notebook today. And in the next video, unless anything more pressing comes up before then, we're going to go over some of the things that we now know, allegedly, that Brian Laundrie's parents, Chris and Roberta, did. And you guys, it is so much more than we ever could have imagined. I am truly shocked right now. That's why I'm not like jumping all over the place, because I'm like, it is truly a lot. So let's start with the notebook. I will leave a link down below where you guys can go and check out the notebook as well, but I'm gonna read it out loud to y'all and we're gonna talk about it. First page, Gabby, I wish I was right by your side. I wish I could be talking to you right now. I'd be going through every memory we made, even getting more excited for the future. But we lost our future. I can't live without you. I've lost every day we could have spent together, every holiday. I'll never get to play with again. Never go hiking with TJ. I loved you more than anything. I can't bear to look at our photos, to recall great times, because it is why I cannot go on. When I close my eyes, I will think of laughing on the roof of the van, falling asleep to the sight of the crystal geyser. I will always love you. Okay, so just starting off, I'm aggravated. Okay, first of all, this is what he says. We lost our future. No, y'all did not lose your future. Brian, destroyed their future. Brian destroyed Gabby. I lost every day we could have spent together, every holiday. What? Her family lost every holiday and every day they could have spent with their daughter. Not you. You stole it from everybody. You stole her from the world. Like, the fact that he's even writing this, Let's go to the next page. If you're reading Gab's journal, which right there, he wrote this, and you guys are going to see, and if you haven't already read this, he wrote this for people to find, okay? It's very clear. He makes it out. So this is all, it's giving, I'm being recorded, and I know that I am, so I'm going to put on a show, right? We've just been through all of this. If you're reading Gab's journal, looking at photos from our life together, flipping through old cards, you wouldn't want to live a day without her. Knowing that every day you'll wake up without her, you wouldn't want to wake up. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry to everyone this will affect. Gabby was the love of my life, but I know adored by many. I'm so very sorry to her family because I love them. I'd consider her younger siblings my best of friends. I am so sorry to my family. This is a shock to them as well as a terrible grief. Sorry to your family. Oh my gosh, we got to keep going here because I'm gonna flip out. They loved as much, if not more than me. What? He's talking about her family. They loved her as much, if not more than me. Yes, of course they loved her more than you. They didn't take her life. You guys got to think about Gabby's mom and dad, okay? Gabby's mom remembers the day that she found out she was pregnant with her daughter, her firstborn. She remembers feeling Gabby growing in her tummy. A lot of y'all know exactly what this feels like. A lot of y'all are parents. She probably remembers teaching her to walk and her first word and the way she looked in kindergarten with her little backpack on, and then going through high school and, her last day of high school, and then meeting Brian and then trusting his family. And then for him he stole her life. And then to get up here and say they loved her as much, if not more than me. Oh, they absolutely loved her more than you. A new daughter to my mother. No, she was not. Gabby was not. This part really grinded my gears. Gabby was not a daughter to your mother. And actually, it just makes me want to cry. She was not a mother to Gabby. And neither was Chris. Chris Laundrie was not a father to her. When you use terms like mother and father and stuff like that, especially if you're putting that label on somebody that's not even biological, that really truly means something. That is somebody that's there for you through the good and the bad. And it is pretty clear and obvious that the moment it went bad, snip, that's not her daughter anymore. An aunt to my nephews. Now that I can agree with, because Gabby loved Brian Laundrie's nephews. And if you guys don't remember, Brian Laundrie's sister came out and said that Gabby, while they were doing these road trips, would send her sons postcards, write them letters, FaceTime them. I mean, she was the best aunt. And so, yeah, that part is true. But to say that she was a daughter to your mother, I don't think so. Please do not make this harder for them. They made this harder for them, and we're gonna get there. This is an unexpected tragedy. When I read that this was an unexpected tragedy, I just think back to the cop's body cam footage. I think back to him smiling and being so cool, calm, and collective. I think about Gabby blaming herself for everything.
Keys are on the hood. You wanna tell me what to call?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, some days I have really bad OCD, and
okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just like, I guess my vibe is like, I hear him be like in a bad mood.
It's so much easier to just beat yourself up and take on all the blame than to hold anybody else in your life accountable. So you beat yourself up, right? I'm sorry. And that's what I saw out of Gabby. But when you listen to that 911 call, somebody called in 911 and said there was a man smacking a young woman around. Rushing back to our car to cross the streams Before it got too dark to see or too cold, I hear a splash and a scream. I could barely see. I couldn't find her for a moment. Shouted her name. I found her breathing heavily, gasping. She was freezing cold. The blazing hot national parks in Utah. So this is where he's saying what happened. And I'm gonna let y'all know right now, spoiler alert, I don't believe a word of this story of his. There may be bits and pieces of the truth, but it is nauseating to read this. So in his story, they were rushing back to the car. They crossed that little stream that we've seen 1.5 million times. And mind you, a reporter, Brian Eaton, who has covered this case since the beginning, did the walk from where the van was to where her body was found, and it was a 5-minute walk. 5 minutes, okay? So they were rushing back. He's saying she slipped, she screamed, and when he found her, she was breathing heavily, grasping for air. The temperature had dropped to freezing. She was soaking wet. I carried her as far as I could from the stream towards the car, stumbling, exhausted, in shock. When my blank and knew I couldn't safely carry her, I started a fire and spooned her as close to the heat. What was, even if that was even, let's just pretend in some alternate universe this is true. What was he on? Was he in an alternate universe in his mind? Because what in the world would tell you your girlfriend slipped and fell, allegedly, in the water, bumped her head. She's breathing heavily. You carry her. You decide, oh, I can't carry her anymore, so I'm going to build a fire. You know how long it takes to build a fire? It's not like you got firewood sitting right there waiting on you. You have to go gather everything. You know what I mean? You got to get something to start it with, some kind of paper or something. You built a fire, and then you dragged her body. Oh my gosh. This is, She was so thin, had already been freezing too long. I couldn't at the time realize that I should have started a fire first, but I wanted her out of the cold back to the car. How about you wanted her in a hospital if that was true, but it wasn't true. From where I started the fire, I had no idea how far the car might be. Only knew it was across the creek. How about calling 911? How about calling the cops? How about getting Life Flight out there? I mean, this park and these big national parks like this, the cops are no strangers to people getting hurt. They fall rock climbing, they get tripped, they get bit by snakes. Like, stuff happens out there. That's why there's certain rangers and stuff that are at these parks. Like, because you're typically pretty far anywhere from a hospital. I mean, I'm not sure about this park, but I'm just saying there are resources and ways. I gotta finish it or we're never gonna get through. When I pulled Gabby out of the water, she couldn't tell me what hurt. She had a small bump on her forehead that eventually got larger. Her feet hurt. Her wrist hurt, but she was freezing, shaking violently. I do believe that because if you guys have never been in spring water, like we have a river where I live at, the water is like freezing year round. It never gets warm. I think the warmest it gets is like 70 or 68 degrees, something like that. These spring waters are like this. So I know that this could be possible. But I think he hit her. He hit her with something. He hit her too hard this time. Or he hit her with something in the right spot and it changed her instantly. See, this is something that a lot of people don't know. That's why fighting, if you're not fighting for your life, it actually can be dangerous. If somebody falls and hits their temple, or if they fall in a way and they crack their skull, they get a brain bleed or something like that, you can literally die, you know? And I think he hit her with something, or he hit her and he freaked out. He had to figure something else out because there was no going back from whatever he hit her with. Because the autopsy did show that she had blunt force trauma to the head and the neck. While carrying her, she continually made sounds of pain. Laying next to her, she said little. Between violent shakes, gasping in pain, it sounds to me like she was having some sort of seizures or something like that from the head trauma she had just went through. Begging for an end to her pain. She would fall asleep and I would shake her awake, fearing she couldn't close her eyes and if she had a concussion. I'm telling you right now, in my heart of hearts, unless something else comes out, he hit her with something. He hit her, and he hit her the wrong way, and she started having all of these convulsions and stuff, and he was trying to fix it. Wake up, no, you're gonna be okay. Like, this is what I'm thinking happened. I think he's taken bits and pieces of stuff to make himself look like the good guy. She would wake in pain, started her whole painful cycle again, furious that I was the one waking her. Right, okay. She wouldn't let me try to cross the creek. What? Are you freaking kidding me? She wouldn't let you? Oh my gosh, this is so bad. She thought, like me, that the fire would go out in her sleep and she'd freeze. I don't know the extent of Gabby's injuries, only that she was in extreme pain and I ended her life. I thought it was merciful. What a freaking sick human being. So sick. This is bad. That is what she wanted. But I see now that all the mistakes that I made, I panicked. I was in shock. But from that moment, I decided I took away her pain. And I knew I couldn't go on without her. I rushed home to spend any time I had left with my family. I mean, just literally. You got to be one sick in order to twist something like this, to still try to make yourself look like the good guy. And I every time I think about this, I literally just think about the body cam footage of him with Gabby crying, face red, blaming herself, and him just smiling. Oh, yeah. Can I have a bottle of water? Can I have a water? Oh, no. It's plastic. Oh, I couldn't drink out of those. Oh, can I get my head out of the sun? Oh, yeah. I wanted to drive north and let James or TJ kill me, but I wouldn't want them to spend time in jail over my mistake. Even though I'm sure they would have liked to. I'm ending my life not because I'm fear of punishment, because you wouldn't want anybody to think anything bad about you. It's not because I'm scared of getting in trouble, not for that, but rather because I can't stand to live another day without her. I've lost our whole future together. No, you did not lose your whole future together. You stole her future from her family, everybody that loved her, and everybody that would have known or come in contact with her or loved her in the future. Every moment we could have shared. I'm sorry for everyone's loss. Please do not make life harder for my family. They lost a son and a daughter. Oh man, you guys, and I've already told, that irks me so bad. The most wonderful girl in the world, Gabby, I'm sorry. I have taken my life by this creek in hopes that the animals may tear me apart, that it might make some of her family happy. Please pick up all of my things. Gabby hated people that littered. So this notebook was released 30 minutes after the family left the FBI office in Tampa, okay? Now, they are trying to get the Freedoms of Information request because Gabby Petito's family wants all the information out. They want it all out. They said this is not even the tip of the iceberg, and that is mind-blowing to me. So this is one confession, right? There is allegedly 2 more confessions that they have that he made, allegedly. And they all have different stuff in them, different stories in them. Let me tell y'all what I think happened, okay? He called mama, and mama said, oh, baby, I'm gonna make it right for you. Mom and daddy said, we got you. They got off phone, called a lawyer. They went on vacation. They did all this crazy mess. If you guys don't remember, they got him a new phone. They thought he was going to be able to get away with this, or that there was a chance. Because if you guys don't remember, while he's sitting here saying he did all this stuff, he was texting on her phone other family members, pretending that he was in Yosemite Park. Remember that, you guys? Because he was trying to throw the investigators or the people that were looking for her off of the tracks of the Grand Teton National Park. He wanted them to go all the way to California and look for her. But they didn't do that. They went straight to Grand Teton National Park, and that's when he started freaking out at home. And that's when I think he realized, yeah, is a good chance that they were going to find her body. You guys, they pulled the van in the garage. Remember? Closed the garage and allegedly cleaned it all the way out. Why would they have done that? If he was going to come home, spend a little bit of time with his family, if all that happened, why didn't he tell Gabby Petito's family what happened so they were not in agonizing pain looking for their, you know, it's all BS. It's all BS. And it just shows you the level of manipulation that he will even try to manipulate after he is dead. Wait until the next video that I do and I tell y'all what his mama did. You guys make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell if you do not want to miss the other video. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I got to go calm down. This just irks me so much. And again, Gabby Petito's lawyer said that this ain't nothing. There is so much more. And they want this information released. They want it released. Oh, I got so much more to tell you guys. It's so hard not to let it out. If you guys want to know, if you watched last Friday, why Gabby Petito's lawyer was so passionate in court, this is part of the reason why. And there's so much more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next video. I love you guys. I got to go for a walk. See y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.
We are dreaming in the dark.